Welcome to Trigger Warning Podcast, the podcast where we create a safe space for open, honest conversations about personal development and wellness, spirituality, and holistic living. Join us as we delve into topics that are often deemed taboo or triggering while we foster a community where vulnerability is celebrated and growth is nurtured. Get ready to explore the depths of mind, body, and spirit on this journey toward personal enlightenment and collective healing. So grab a drink, have a seat, and come join us. And this week, I'm so excited because we are talking about victim and scarcity mindsets. But before we get into that, we got to do our win, our lesson, or trigger, and something we did for self. So, you know yours, or think?
My win is I'm still here. That's a win.
Okay.
That's gonna be a forever win because the past few weeks I could not see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I just didn't know why. But I'm still here, so we move.
Yeah.
We
Are you
move.
still like processing what's been going on, or did you like have an enlightening moment, or?
I was processing. I'm still processing, low key, but I kind of know what it is. So we move. We move. What did I do for myself? No, and I'm doing something this weekend for myself. I'm gonna get this head done, honey.
Okay.
Well, it's time for a retie that ain't been done in 3 months. I know it's about to be some popping of the locks here.
Yes.
Win, lose. Did I have a lose? No.
What? First of all, we ain't doing no losses. It's
Right.
lessons.
Yeah, I was about to say
Lessons
lose.
are still wins.
Always.
I thought you said loss.
I did because I was like, well, that don't make sense. The lesson I learned. Honestly, my lesson is still coming from last week's podcast with the boundaries. And sticking to my boundaries and not allowing anything to waver me from sticking to the boundaries, honestly. It's been hard because you're used to do and always wanting to answer people or whatever, and it's like, girl, put you first. So see,
I'm
our
a big fan of
podcast
being
helped
selfish.
me. It ain't nothing wrong with being selfish. Sometimes you got to take time for yourself.
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Yes.
For
Go
me,
ahead, girl.
my win was, I think us launching this podcast was the win because listen,
Do you
we,
not know how scared I was?
we were recording this in advance, but this week, we launched the podcast and we are out here being seen, and we both
vulnerable.
That is a shadow that we are both working through, is being seen.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny with our our careers and backgrounds, but yes. So that was definitely the win for me. The lesson. The lesson for me would have been where I'm giving my energy. I've been really like trying to be intentional with what things like light me up, what things I want to like learn to delegate or, take out of my, just take off of my to-do list. So yeah, like I think that's the lesson, is trying to balance things out, because like instead of saying like, oh, I'm tired, and I'm always tired and this is just how it is, which is kind of going into that victim mindset we're about to start talking about. But it's like, well, how about I rearrange how my energy, so that's been something, especially trying to balance like, all the things like work, school, being a mother, just self-care, and trying to Also devote energy to like dating and stuff too. So it's like there's many pieces of the pie. Is that
Right.
no? It's pieces of the pie.
It's pieces of the puzzle, but I mean, we could
Okay,
take a slice of the pie. Either way it go,
y'all know
it's
what I'm
something
talking
missing.
about. Yes, but doing all the things, just balancing that out. So that's definitely the
Right.
lesson. And the do for self. Well, this weekend it will be done. It hasn't been this week yet. Um, because my birthday is coming up on Monday,
Whoop, whoop.
and I'm not like that excited about it yet, to be honest. But anywho,
Why?
I am going to get cute. I'm going to finally get my nails done. You know, I've taken a break, so I'm excited. Get my nails, toes done. I'm gonna definitely like retie my hair and yeah, getting the energy. We gonna because we turn in like this is the fourth time I'm turning 30. So
Spin the block. Hit that sun 4 times 30 ways.
yes.
Nothing wrong with that.
But
Get
okay,
into it.
let us get into the episode. Okay, so victim mindset. You want to start with victim or scarcity?
Mm, do victim, because it can all play into one.
So what? How would you describe victim
Victim
mindset?
mindset. Someone that's always, how can you, let me break it down. Pity party. A victim mindset is somebody that always wants a pity party, like, woe is me, woe is me. No, it's not. How would you
Mm-hmm.
describe it in your words? Because we know
So
I break mine down, and then yours be like dictionary.
what? Listen, I mean, I would describe it as like, yeah, like a person that's in the like mentality that there's like everyone and everything is against them. Like, you know, they see things that are being done, like things that are happening to them rather than for them type of
Right,
mindset, you know? So yeah, I mean, just people that I feel like that is the mentality that breeds powerlessness. It's like you're giving your power away because if you're just saying like, "Oh, these things happen to me and I can't change my circumstances and this is just how life is or it's just how I
mm-hmm.
am," like that is victim mindset because you're giving your power away to external things rather than understanding your power and your ability to create, you know, your
Right,
reality and shift the trajectory. Like it to me, it's kind of it relates to how people talk about like manifestation and stuff. And they think, you
mm-hmm.
know, I've heard that people get into it and say that's voodoo and hoodoo and all the, you know,
All the
the
things.
devil. That ain't nothing but the devil, which is a whole episode we gonna talk about later. But they think it's related to that, but it's like we manifest all the time, just how you like thinking about somebody and then they call you. Like, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like that type of thing. What we're giving our energy to, and if we're giving it to external things, then you're going to be in the victim mindset because you're thinking things again are happening to
Right,
you and not for you, rather than thinking like, hey, there's a lesson, there's a reason why, you know, this is
right.
happening. And then you could be on the end of the spectrum like me sometimes where my best friend got to knock me down a notch because she like everything ain't a sign, girl. Like, everything is not. Oh, this is happening for this, like, you know.
Now, like my brother's like that. He like, here you go again. That's not what that's about. It happened because it
It's all
happened.
connected.
Yeah, to me, it's like it happened for a reason. And look at what time it happened. So it was supposed to happen. Like, yeah, but
Yeah,
that
that's
makes sense. I know a couple of people who have victim mindset.
yeah.
Um,
Um, how does
I
it?
used to be
So,
like that though.
I mean, I definitely lived in victim and scarcity mindset, and honestly, I still battle. I still not so much the victim mindset, but I still have times where I have to coach myself through moments of like running through scarcity mindset. Which we'll get into that later. But yeah, like I mean that's a constant thing. Like sometimes we
Right.
can get into that mode. I think
Mm-hmm.
the difference is like the level of self-awareness and being able to get out of that. Like the thoughts that run through our head because of a situation, a trigger, an
Mm-hmm.
activating event, like it's going to we're not going to put the energy and the focus onto, oh, this is happening to me. Like we might be like, fuck, like really, like life, you know, life be
Again,
life in.
life is
But
hitting.
we combat that thought with going into more of a more positive solution focused and like, hey, what can I take charge of in this situation to
Mm-hmm.
change the trajectory of like whatever's going on?
Yeah, that I was there. I can literally blatantly remember like, oh, it's me again. Like it's always happening to me, just me. It's like, girl, no. And when I finally started to change my mindset, it was like it had to happen like that. If it wouldn't happen like that, then this wouldn't happen, or X, Y, and Z couldn't happen. So I definitely get it. But with the people I know that have victim mindset, honestly, I really just want to keep my distance because it's really draining.
It definitely is.
It's draining. It's like,
But okay, Miss
oh,
Lightworker, like Miss
what? But
Energy Healer
see,
and all the
I
things.
definitely I can deal. Like, okay, so don't get me wrong. I literally deal with it and like work with you or try to work through it with you. But if you just keep hitting me with it and it's the same thing over and over and over, it's like, yo, I wash my hands with it because what am I doing? We're wasting my time. You get what I'm saying? We're wasting my time and your time because you're not listening. You just want to be there. And I have noticed some people don't care. They know they're playing victim, but they get more attention in the victim mindset. So why should I change?
So, okay, so playing devil's advocate though, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
with your, you know, with your career as far as like Reiki healing and things like that, like not that I mean there's people out here that their energy aren't that isn't fucked up, you
Right,
know,
right.
but we all got stuff. And a lot of
Uh-huh.
times I find that in our type of work, whether you're energy healing or, you know, like a holistic healer, a shot like a medicine woman, whatever the case may be, you tend to deal with people that you know that aren't at that level yet of
Yeah.
self-awareness and aren't at that level of like taking their power back. So I mean, I think for me it's more so like it's a balance because it is definitely more draining, but that's the
Mm-hmm.
clientele. That's the that's you know.
That's the business. But have you ever met someone, let's say like this, I get what you're saying, but it's it's the clientele, it's the business, but at the same time, you know what you're doing. And in one voice you want to say, I'm just this spiritual healer, woo woo woo. And then the next you want to be a victim when it's convenient to you. That makes sense?
Mhm. Yeah,
Like
but I
that's what
think I
gets me.
mean I mean I try to you know I'm very reflective on things. I try to look at like both sides or
Uh-huh.
multiple sides because it's usually more than two. But I
Uh-huh.
notice like with those type of people because I was there, like, and
Uh-huh.
I try to be for my clients what I needed when I was going through my spiritual awakening, when I was going
Uh-huh.
through. You know, being around certain people that were in certain energies, that were confident, that didn't have money problems, that, you know, like
Uh-huh.
were just in a completely different, you know, arena. And it would be easier to flow with that. But
Right.
then going back to natural environments, whether it's, you know, some family members or some friends or, you know, whatever the case may
Uh-huh.
be, that it's easier to flow in that. So I've definitely like, you know, swam in
Went
both.
through
So it's like
both ponds.
I understand that sometimes until you get to that point, you know, we're gonna fluctuate in and out of that energy.
Uh-huh.
So um how do you so well first how are what are some examples of ways with victim mindset that you've either had yourself or you know with clients or people you know.
Um, so you can say like with myself, whatever. It'll be something so minute. Something could happen. I promise you, it's like, girl, I broke a nail. Let's keep it like that. It was one time I broke my nail. Girl, I had just got my nails done, and when I mean my nails are blinged out, it was the whole nail was diamond type blinged out. Um, and I broke it, and I was like, it's always something with me. I'm just bad luck. And if this person would have did that, and if I would have just moved this, and I'm like, girl, what? Now that I think about it, I'm literally saying like, girl, what?
Do you be coaching yourself in your head too, like I do? Because I'd be
Yes.
like, girl,
I was like, it was a
take a
nail,
breath.
but it
Like,
was like I had a big thing to go to, and now I gotta go get this nail redone. But then is that responsible for me to go get this junk nail again after it's the money for it? And it's like, girl, sit back, relax,
hmm
chill. Or I know some people I know they get denied for a job or have gotten denied for a job, and all of a sudden it's I'm so stupid, or I'm just I just can't never do nothing right. And I'm like, it hurts me to hear people talk about themselves like that because I'm like, but you're not stupid. Like it was something probably bigger for you. This is
hmm
just something cute. You thought it was for you. The Most High dangled it in your face. Like this is something you want, but I got something bigger for you. But of course, being in that victim mindset, you don't see that. You're just like, I wanted this job, why I didn't get it?
Yeah.
What about you?
And I've seen, I mean, even like with this situation with the job thing, um, even the thoughts of like, see, this is why I don't, went through that whole like having to put a job application and list the jobs and the dates
Mm-hmm.
and, references and stuff. And it's like, that's why I don't do this stuff because it ain't even worth it because I didn't get the job,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, yeah, but they're like, maybe that job wasn't for you. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it could have looked good on paper, but there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times I find that there is, as we say, there's no losses. It's just lessons, and if it's a lesson,
Mm-hmm.
it's a win. Um, because yeah, it could have just been not in alignment with what your higher purpose is, what your calling is, what lights you up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've definitely like I had a friend actually some years ago uh that didn't get a job, but then come to find, and this was actually a big company too. They didn't get the job, but then come to find out, like it was like 6 months later, and they had a huge layoff. Like they laid off multiple, like it was hundreds of employees. So it's like it could have saved you potentially from a loss later down the road. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because that
Like
could have
it's,
been
and I
you.
guess the victim mindset, getting out of that looks like, rather than this is the no, it's like, oh, this
Mm-hmm.
is one no closer to my yes.
Say that
That's
again.
that was
What?
good. That was good, right?
Yes. This is the no closer to my yes.
Yes,
And then
like
that's the
it.
thing. You have to be in your place of just like that. I may not be there now, but I'm
Yeah,
going to get there. Like my
right.
yes is coming. My yes is just not right now. And
Yes, and
everything,
being in the energy to receive it. You
yes.
can't
But
say
this,
you want the job, but then you're not preparing for the job. You're not like, I think I've talked about it on this podcast, but that landing strip, I did it in a live before, where a plane can't land if there's stuff on the landing strip,
but
right?
we
It's
have,
got to be clear. And
we're
it's
in
multiple
this,
people making sure it's clear for you to land or take off. It's the same thing.
right.
So you have to prepare your environment for that. You can't just say, oh, this is happening to me, and then you ain't even getting ready for it. Getting
But
ready for your blessing.
we're in this lifestyle, and where we are right now in the world, everybody wants the microwavable life.
Yeah.
Everything needs to be quick, quick, quick. I want it now. I want it now. This ain't popcorn, baby. And it's not a 2 minute thing. Some things happen for a reason. Some things take time to plan out. You have to, again, let's go back to airplanes since we're talking about the landing strip. They don't just park the plane, let the people get off, and then let the next people board. No, they have to make sure they refuel the plane, clean the plane, move off the baggage. Hello,
Now I gotta do that live again because now I gotta add that part of the
move
analogy.
off the baggage. So you can't have
Yes.
things as soon as you want it because the baggage that's in your life have to be removed so the plane can be light enough or for
hmm
more baggage to come. And it don't have to be bad baggage. It could be a new
Yeah.
job. It could be a better car. That baggage can't go on if it's already full of everything else that's supposed to be gone from the last stop to go
Yeah.
to the next place.
You gotta do them checks because if you don't do them checks, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if you would have waited the whatever time to get on your flight, they would have done the checks to realize they got to switch planes because there's an issue with the engine
It's too much
or one of the
fuel in the
turbines.
plane.
You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
patience. But
Thinking
yeah,
about that.
I think that's really a big part of like being in the victim mindset is just thinking that you don't have control over it.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't have the ability, like we're not, natural manifestors and out here creating life or, I mean, even as males, like we need that like masculine energy, that divine energy
Mm-hmm.
to make, to create. So it's like, why would you think that you are just powerless and you just free to like give away that energy? You know what I mean? Just
But two, who was it? Martin Luther King said, "Without light, there could be no darkness." Sorry,
that's true.
without darkness, there could be
Well,
no light.
yeah.
Either way, whatever. Look at me trying to quote him wrong. Whatever. He had a dream. This is
Not
what he
on
was
look,
saying.
not on Juneteenth.
Hey, I'm talking about my boy though. Okay. Um, but that you have to think about it too. So sometimes who people who have that victim mindset is they're just stuck in their darkness and they don't
Yeah.
want to see the light. Or they see some of it and they're like, I kind of want to go there, but the darkness is pulling me back. But baby, once you come into the light, like step into the light, Caroline, it's you like, oh, and you'll be like us, coaching yourself through it. Like, well, that's not what it really was. This is
Yeah.
what it is. Like,
Yeah.
that's how I look
I
at it.
agree. I agree. And I think the key to getting out of like victim mindset
Victim.
is, I would say, accountability. Because if you can take accountability for your circumstances, like, I know
Mm-hmm.
for me, examples for me was like, for a long time, like with my sexual trauma and things like that, like I always associated, well, things are like this and I'm behaving this way, whether it was like, hypersexuality, as I mentioned, just like being willy nilly with my body and whatnot. Like I blamed it on my, childhood trauma rather than
Mm-hmm.
taking ownership. And it's like, girl, you are a full grown adult with good insurance. Insurance is okay. Like you ain't got no reason
You got
to
no
not
reason
seek
not to be
help,
getting help.
to not, get accounted, to be able to help me to take accountability. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so it took a lot though. It's, you even in the process, because the number one key is self-awareness with healing. So once you can
Mm-hmm.
recognize it, we can't beat ourselves up for when we have those moments, because they're gonna happen. They just may have start to happen less frequently, but we still gonna fall into the victim mindset. We still gonna have
Right.
like moments of scarcity mindset and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But like we mentioned, it's really about coaching ourselves through that. So um recognizing it and just being able to kind of like try to challenge those natural thoughts that we've, that have been reoccurring, these stories that we tell ourselves with it, like life is
Right.
happening to us and we can't change things. Well,
We ain't
oh,
supposed to
parents are,
know.
my parents are just like that, they're older or whatever. Like, no, guess what, you can
No.
create a boundary for you
Mm-hmm.
to not necessarily, as we mentioned, change the person's behavior, but you can say, hey, like, I love you and I think you have so much wisdom to give me, but it just doesn't really sit well with me that you complain all the time. So either, hey, like if you start to get in that type of conversation, like I just don't have the availability for it.
I don't.
But
I
if not,
don't.
like I'm gonna separate myself. That's what that looks like, rather than, oh, they're just older and they're just, stuck in their ways. Like,
Grumpy.
no, we can create the boundary to help us create more of a safe space for us.
Mm-hmm.
If that is going to help us, if we have the awareness that, hey, this doesn't resonate with me, I don't like this, I don't like complaining, I want to be more focused on like solutions and like,
Mm-hmm.
positive things and things like that. Like, that is what that looks like, getting out of that like mindset.
So so now that you say that, of course, within our profession, at times we're going to have to, and we will hear people express themselves. It may be forms of complaining, it may just be them venting, but it does also come to a point where we're like, yo, I have to shut down, because it's too much.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen myself in that space though. For transparency, like, yo, I cannot, like, if you're talking to me and it's like, hey, this is going on, but if you're literally sitting there banging me with complaints, it's like
Yeah.
most of the time when you do the complaint, You literally can, if say for example, if I'm complaining about something myself, you literally like, yo, where's the accountability on your part? While you're complaining, you hear where you lack the accountability yourself. So it's like, let's get out of that.
Yeah, that
Let's move
awareness though,
somewhere.
that's the key. There's nothing wrong in that situation then, because either we're learning we need to put up more boundaries so we don't get to that point
Mm-hmm.
of being at capacity, or, one thing that I've learned to do, I've gotten slick with it too, is like just navigating the conversation. When they
Mm-hmm.
say that, I'm like, oh, okay, so what are you gonna do to like, get out of
What are
this
you gonna do
energy,
to
or what are
change
you
the
gonna do to
situation?
change this? So like for a future, event, like how are you
Mm-hmm.
gonna navigate that? Or I always bring the person back to them. So no matter how many times, like I'll let you at times, and this is, us just kind of reading the
Speaking.
room, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
but like understanding sometimes people need a minute. But guess what? We're not going to get lost in it because, yeah, that's going to be too draining for me. And why? That's why, we know we're going to talk about like cleansing and grounding and
Yeah.
grounding and helping to navigate, our energy levels with things because, yeah, I can't get to that point. Like that's not going to work in not only our line of work, but also as mothers and, your wife. Like you gotta, you know,
You gotta know when to shut it off. You
we gotta
can't.
keep, we gotta keep it tight because it affects a lot of
Yeah.
things, as
We
with
have to.
all our listeners, I'm sure, like we all wear different titles and hats, so once you can learn to start to notice when things shift our energy, I think that's you can't get no
I
better
just
than
cut it
having
off.
self-awareness. Like,
I literally just cut it off. I will speak to you at base level until I know I'm back to a place where I can mentally handle whatever I know you're gonna done for me. Because some people I've noticed too, they just don't. Like, oh yeah, I have the space for you. Thanks for
mhm.
not asking, but I have it for you. Like,
I don't know how many times growing up where I was that safe space for people, and I wanted nothing but to do that because I wanted to help people not feel the way I was feeling inside.
mm-hmm.
So I wanted to be what I felt that I didn't have. And I would be uncomfortable. Like I would
Mm-hmm.
be inside, I'm just like, I ain't got time to be sitting up here listening to like it would be like I would be listening to them, but still like in my head, like I can't, like I don't even know why did I, like
Right.
why you just releasing on me? Why are you dumping on me? But I didn't, this was back before, the whole awareness of trauma dumping and things like that. Don't trauma dump on your friends, y'all. Like get a
Please
therapist, get a
don't.
coach, get a counselor.
They
Um,
can't help you through everything, baby.
and I think me and you personally have talked about it, but like
Mm-hmm.
with our friends, like we'll ask, like, hey, can you hold space before,
Mm-hmm.
you know, saying just whatever you got to say and release? Because guess what? Like,
Right.
our friends aren't the people that we got to process with. Now, some friends ain't got a
Mm-mm.
problem with it, but it's really not like it's really unfair because that is a
It's not their
that is
problem.
that is very draining. But we got to learn too to hold those boundaries because it's an energy exchange no matter what. Like it's energy's coming,
Every
it's going.
time.
So we got to protect it. So yeah, I think like that's my number one tip. As far as like just getting accountability, is there something else that you can think of that, or a technique even to help people get out of like victim mindset?
When you catch yourself, mine is when you catch yourself doing the complaints or hearing yourself, woe is me, stop.
Mm-hmm.
Take time to process, well, it happened, it could have happened because of this. Make theories in your head that's not the theory of it's always me. Because
Mm-hmm.
most of the time you're going to see why, what was the reason it was stopped and it protected you. A lot of the times, it's a way of protection. Just
In
like,
some
let's
way, shape,
say,
or form, yeah.
like you be late for work and you're on the road trying to get to work and then you notice a horrible car wreck. Well, if you would have left those 10 minutes earlier, that could have been you.
Yeah,
So why are you beating yourself up? You were protected for something.
yeah.
So my thing is slow down. We need to slow down in this world. We're not a microwavable lifestyle and process. That's my tip. Process it, people.
You just made me think about something. Like how you're saying about protection.
Mm-hmm.
And we think we in society tend to think because something didn't happen to us or for us that we didn't want, like if we missed out on something, whether it was the job or
Mm-hmm.
a car, like whatever the case may be,
Mm-hmm.
we tend to think when it don't happen, that is like we always think of it as a negative thing. So not only is it could be protection from, like you said, like a safety thing, like a physical thing, but it could also be protection from the universe for like protection from us.
Right.
And by from us, I mean protection from yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we are not ready for what we are asking for. And not everything like has to be like we mentioned, like preparing, clearing the landing strip type of thing, like preparing for our blessings. But sometimes mentally and emotionally we are not ready for it. So the
Yeah.
protection could be from us, because guess what, if
Protecting
you won
for
that million
myself.
dollars you know what I mean, are you going to sit up here and figure out how to create generational wealth for the
No.
next generation? Or if you're still stuck in that like victim mindset, scarcity mindset, are you more than likely going to sit up here and do what we do every tax time and run through them checks, and then 2 months later we over here
I
asking to
need to go
borrow money?
to crisis.
Oh, that hurts some feelings. Listen,
That just stepped on some toes
you
though.
got
But
to
it's
be ready
true.
on
You
all
have
levels
to.
to receive. The protection could be from yourself. Okay, I just
Sometimes we are the
had to
problem.
go on a tangent.
But sometimes we are the problem. And we
Yes.
need to open our eyes and say, I really may be the problem. You may be, Bookie. You may
Yeah.
be the issue. And that's okay. Work through being the issue. Don't sit in the issue.
Yeah, exactly. So accountability, pausing and reflecting,
Mm-hmm.
and having a I can attitude. Like, so what can I do to change this? What can
The
I do
rule of
to
me.
get out of this energy? That is what
Mm-hmm.
you should be thinking of to start to get out of that like victim mindset. Okay,
The rule of me.
that was good. But let's move on to scarcity mindset now. So what's scarcity mindset to you? I
I'm gonna let
know.
you go first.
Okay, okay.
Because I
Um,
never really heard of it like a scarcity mindset until you started speaking on it.
oh, okay. Well, so scarcity mindset, it's when you are always thinking in a limited sense. So it's like you're thinking in lack of rather than what you have, you know? So like, they say you think the grass is greener on the other side
Okay.
type of thing. You're not looking at what you got here, but you looking, that fear of missing out thing, like fear of like not having and things like that. That is really what like the scarcity mindset is, when they're focused on what they don't have.
So could that be the same thing as example? Say you got a car, a brand new car, and I have a 1999 Honda, and it's like, well, she got it. I can have it. We work the same job. Why don't I have it? Like that?
And yeah. I mean, that could definitely be an example of it. And
Mm-hmm.
it can, I mean, there's different levels to it too. So, I mean, it could be as dramatic as, I mean, so for me, like how it shows up for me, and I still have to navigate this, because even though I am making more money than I ever have, I still, I don't be wanting to look at my bank account. Like I still be, like, um, I don't know. It's always like I'm, how you used to have to check and see, like before you go to the grocery store, like check and see what you got in your account before before you be embarrassed at
Before
the
you
front
go,
line. And can you
I
take
keep thinking
that?
about
How much
that
was? Can you
checking.
take that off too? Looking at
Mm-hmm.
everybody behind you, like I've been there. And that's just like always kind of, it would cause me to be in an energy of I can't spend as much because
Mm-hmm.
I don't know when I'm getting
What's
more
gonna
in.
happen?
So I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking in a lack mentality rather than an abundant, knowing that like whatever I spend is coming back to me tenfold. But yeah, like it was
Ching
always
ching go
like
the money tree.
thinking like it's more literal than like check to check type of thinking, but basically
Mm-hmm.
that's how I would like express it.
Like ching ching go the money tree. Money flows to me easily.
Yes, yes. Like now,
So
and I
I
mean,
get it.
I still find it challenging, like sometimes, because yeah, sometimes the money is not flowing as much as I would like it to. Where like parts of my lifestyle, because there's certain things that I do, whether like, and it's regularly, like massages and like getting nails and toes done or whatever, like food. I I am a foodie, so DoorDash or cooking or whatever. Like I'm eating steak and lobsters, and I
Like I'm
don't
gonna
live
eat
like
good, baby.
a cheap lifestyle. I got a nanny.
But
There's,
that's good because you
but
deserve
you
that
know, rather
lifestyle.
than thinking like, oh, I'm like lacking, it's like
Hmm.
there is an abundance here. Like, okay, I may not be able to order DoorDash like 3 times this week, which, don't judge me. That's not every week, y'all. I'm just saying.
Judgment. Did you see
But
my face?
I saw it.
DoorDash,
But
you
it's
add one
like
thing to the cart,
I got the
$6. Like
ability,
what?
like I have a regular nanny. Like this is not a like I remember being a single mother before where like the only time well, if I went out it was because like my mom or something would like watch my daughter or something like that. But now I got like a nanny. Like she's here weekly, probably like 20 hours a week. So
Right.
like I that is not a lifestyle most can have. So like, but I've had to check myself for thinking like, oh, I can't order a lobster this weekend, or something, just randomly. But
No, no, I get it.
yeah, so
Now that you explained it,
do you have like ways
yes,
that shows up for you?
all the time, all the time. Now that
Yeah.
you explained it, I have the money. I have money in my savings account. I have money in my account, and it's
Hmm.
like, well, I won't do that. I can wait till next time to do that. Well, I just won't get that or this and that, and it's like, wait, you have the money. Like everybody who know me now, baby. If I don't do nothing else, I'm gonna get my nails and all that done because I'm a step. But it's like at times I literally sit there and like, well, that's gonna cost this much. Is that really a smart decision? Well, X, Y, Z. Because I remember a time when I didn't tell a soul that me and my ex friend was literally sharing a freaking 10-piece chicken nugget because we both didn't have no money, and it was only $1.99 from Burger King. And this is so embarrassing, but it's my story, so I don't care. I could have
Yeah.
asked my parents for money. I definitely could have, but I'm one of them people like I do this on my own. Like we literally did that for like lunch and dinner, and it was some days we both just went to sleep hungry because we had to pay our rent, we had to pay our car note, we wasn't going back home.
Yeah.
Um, Made too much money to be on food stamps, so it was yeah. I ain't ashamed of my story. I ain't ashamed of nothing I went through. So
Yeah. I
yeah.
mean that really hit for me because just this a couple days ago,
Hmm.
um I went to, and I haven't like, oh my gosh, I haven't had McDonald's since like I think when I was pregnant or something.
Hmm.
Like it's been a long time. The only thing I've had since then was like frappes, but I haven't had like the food, and I just had a like kind of craving for it. Now I had like money, but I wanted to use, and I got a fry and what I get, I think a fry and like a McDouble. So it was
Hmm.
like it was like $3 or $4, like something like that. The 5 for 5, like it was one of them things. So, it was only a few bucks. And I had, because of a previous game with some friends, game night, like we played some game that involved me winning 40 like dollars in quarters. um, and so I was like, I wanted to pay with the quarters because I'm like, I need to get rid of these things. Cause like, what else am I gonna do? And for some reason, me when I tell you I was triggered because I'm handing this woman $5 and some change in quarters,
Right.
that it brought me to when I did like no matter how much money was in my account right now, I'm shrunk back to the moments of like when this is all I
You didn't
had.
have.
Like you know what I mean? And I'm like, this $5 is everything. You know what I mean? And it brought me back to that mindset, and I felt guilty. I felt ashamed. I felt, oh
Even though you
man,
knew why you
I
had the change, it still
yes,
made you feel like, girl,
it did.
I will not eat a Wendy's 4 for $4 or Burger King chicken nugget for nothing.
Like, I mean, but why? Why, right? Because it's gonna
Because
bring
back
you right
then,
back.
yeah,
And
I don't know.
I was literally told, like, I was like, this is crazy. Like, why am I feeling like this? This is wild. It's like, I don't know. I could have swiped the card. I could have, like, but I
I
was
could
like,
have did a
oh,
whole bunch of things, but it's still, yeah. That you say that I do not. But oh my god,
somebody's triggered. Stay triggered, y'all. Listen, the life
stay
lessons.
triggered.
Oh gosh.
Oh.
But yes, like,
Mm.
I even noticed for me, um, and some clients that I had too, because like we would do fasting and stuff sometimes. And I know for me, especially like food's
Mhm.
always been a thing. Um, food and money for me.
Mhm.
But it was like fasting, instead of thinking about the benefits that I was getting, which was the whole intention behind the fast. It was whether
Right.
it
Right.
closer to source, or, get an answer for a specific question I had, whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
Instead of thinking about like what I'm going to get on the other side, like my struggles had to do with what I was losing, what I had to give up, whether it was meat, food, like bread, whatever the case may be. Like I have really struggled with that when it comes to, and I mean the benefits of fasting, like, people have spiritual awakenings, they get enlightenment, they have, clarity, whatever.
Mhm.
And of course, not to mention the physical benefits too. It was like
Right.
juice fasting. Um, and instead of focusing on, like what I'm gaining, um, I was always focused on what I was missing out. And
Losing.
I
Yeah.
like that is, now that I think about it, that is definitely something I still have, like on my recent ayahuasca journey, which, like we said, we are definitely gonna talk about that later. But you have to physically, mentally, and emotionally and spiritually prepare for this type of medicine. And you have to eat clean. Like I couldn't eat, um it wasn't as like I had, chicken like baked and stuff, no fried foods, no like
Mhm.
regular carbs and complex carbs, things like that. But and mainly like a lot of more fruits and vegetables. So and it was
Right.
like
Right.
I was still eating stuff. But for
Mhm.
some reason I'm like, damn, I really want a steak right now. Or I really want like, and I'm like, that is crazy to me, because it's like, even when this ain't as bad as like when I went on a dry fast or a water fast, even, or even a juice fast, because I could eat solid foods. It was very, it was still limited. But I noticed that my mindset with that is still like it's a lack mentality. And I
Mhm.
mean, I don't know about you, but like I grew up where, I mean, we had what we needed, but there were times that I went hungry, but I'm like, I'm still processing like where that trauma came from, cuz usually scarcity or victim mindset
Come from
comes from
something else.
something related to like a trauma, or like some form of activating event as a child. I don't
Mhm.
know where it came from, but for some reason, I when it comes to spending on food, I have a scarcity mindset, because I will want to buy like it's the only time I'm gonna have a steak or whatever, because I'm thinking I may not have this. Like it's still in my head that this could be taken away. This isn't like consistent, which is wild. That's something I'm still working on.
Hmm.
I just realized that. That's kind of
I'm
crazy.
sitting here realizing from some people I know that like every time they get paid, they have to go out to eat. They have to go out to eat.
Yes.
And I used to
Like
be like,
what
well,
we celebrate.
yeah, like what we celebrating? These 40 hours we just worked? But that makes sense because
That's
of
crazy.
these people, because of their background,
Mhm.
how they grew up, the lack
Yeah.
with, you know, without. It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
And spending money on food is something I never. I mean, I'm not up there where I'm always at like the 5-star restaurants, like ordering a plate that
Mm-hmm.
costs like $90 and it's got like, this little bit on it. But like I will overspend on like getting like delivery, like DoorDash from like my favorite restaurants and things like that because
Mm-hmm.
it puts me in that mind, like, like you said, spending that first check, like the first part of that check on food, like it gives a rush of adrenaline and gives me endorphins to think like it makes me feel like successful, I guess, because it's like
I don't know.
I didn't always used to have that ability, so that's definitely still it's
I
still
spend
related
money
to a
like a
trauma.
drug dealer. I spend money like a drug dealer, baby.
What is
I
that?
will do.
I don't know what that means. Like, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I spend money like I know I'm going to get it right back. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I will blow $300 in 10 minutes, and
So,
it's like I
but
got
with
it.
that though, right? Because there's things that I'll spend money on, like when it comes to like home, like stuff, like improvement type of
Yes.
things. I will. That's without a doubt. But then there's other things like I'm not gonna most. It's
It's
it's very
certain
rare that
things
I'm
that
not
you will
gonna
spend
buy
money
like a
on.
$1,000 purse or
Right.
anything like that. So it even with that it like kind of depends on what we're referring to, right? Like,
So I know it'll be home stuff. Now I won't spend it on myself,
mm,
but it'd be like stuff for the house. And Lord knows the little human that came out of me can get all the money.
yeah,
Oh, I think that's cute.
always,
Oh, he needs that. And it's like, bro, closet full of clothes. Bro still got tags. He don't
yeah.
need it. So, now you about to have me go process this like we process the boundaries.
Okay, because
Hmm.
I was sure gonna dig into it, Um, that you just mentioned you don't spend on yourself. So
Mm-mm.
why is that?
Um,
Why is it that you let it flow for other people, but
I've always been like that though. I've always been like that.
is it
I
like a sense of guilt or something that
I do feel guilty when I do stuff for myself
mm,
and not others.
what do you feel like you're
Um,
taking away from then?
I feel like I don't honestly. It's just, I just feel like other people, like, well, they need it more than me, and
Mm,
it's like, no, they don't. Like, they can do the same thing you doing. They can get up and get it themselves. But it's just I've always been the one to help. I'm always the one like, well, I do it for you. I got it. And then I'm looking at myself like, I literally have stuff in the cart for me, and I just will not get it. Or if I get it, I have to get like my husband or my son something because I feel guilty for even buying myself something.
mm,
But I don't know why I was like that. I don't know.
mm. That's good. That's good. This is good stuff,
Yeah.
y'all.
This is getting good.
So, can I give you homework then?
Yeah,
Would you do it if I give it to you?
I will. I will.
This is Coach Kiki. So, I challenge you
Mhm.
3 times this week in the next 7 days from today.
Mhm.
I want you to buy yourself something and not buy anything else for anyone else.
I can do it. I can do it. Oh my God. You don't hear the baby crying.
No, I don't. I
Oh,
just see you
yeah.
shaking. You giving me and the guests like
Because he's
whiplash over here.
crying. He's crying. I'm like, why are you
I
crying?
don't. Well, I don't hear him. That's a good
Okay.
mic because I hear no baby.
Okay. No babies. I could definitely do that. I can. I can definitely do that.
I gotta write that down so I can hold you accountable.
I got a lot of stuff I could buy too, honey, because I got that conference next weekend.
Yeah. But if
Yeah.
you get like, it can't be like it got to be 3 different times. So you can't
Oh,
just
it's
get
gonna be
three
three
things
different
at one
times.
times. Like three.
No,
I mean,
baby.
3 things at once.
No, it's gonna be three different times.
Okay. 3 things, 3 different times. Buy
Hmm.
something, and
See
for
y'all,
nobody else.
we get it too.
Yeah.
We do it too.
Well. So just quickly, because I know you got the baby over there. Um. What are for me? I'll say something that I feel that can get people out of like scarcity mindset.
Hmm.
The biggest thing is gratitude. like having gratitude for what you do have and changing, because if you're in a state of gratitude energetically is at the level of like love and like high vibration. So if we're in a lack mindset, we're vibrating low. And a lot of things are going to penetrate our energy,
Always.
our source here. So having a sense of gratitude, and like if you have the awareness and you think about it, to not judge it, like even if it comes up for us, to realize that's a win for us to, have the awareness of it anyway, because that, like, the more we're aware of it, then we can start to shift. It may not just happen at one time, and you're just, I'm out of scarcity mindset because we just talked about this now. It's still gonna come up, but it just might look a little different.
It's gonna show up differently now
and
that you
it
already
may
talked about
not
it.
last as long. But like, so not judging it, and then not having a fear around it either, like not having a fear around spending. And this is not even just money. This is just, it could be spending energetically. Like this is just, it's the whole thing.
Right.
So yeah, just not having fear or judging. And I think that will allow you to be in an energy that will attract more to you, that more will flow to you.
Right. Energy flows and attracts to you. Just like money will.
Exactly. Because I realize, like, the more that I get in the energy of I'm not afraid to spend it, and I'm not like holding the dollar still, like, as you're trying to give it to the cashier in a sense. Like,
not you be holding on.
It's like, but if you think in that energy of like, it's gonna come back. Like,
right. Every time.
I don't know how many times I've been in that energy and I had like a check come that like there's no way else to think about it other than it was manifested, because like it wasn't planned money, it wasn't like a regular paycheck, like it was
just
random checks from different, like, random sources. And that's how it happens. That's how it starts to happen for you once you get in that get in alignment. Do you have anything else as far as how to get out of scarcity mindset?
The same thing, honestly. The exact same thing for the victim mindset. Sit, process it. I am processing it now. Just speaking on it. Process it. And again, like Kiki said, it's gonna show up differently. Now that you have announced it or said it out loud, and now that it's in your mind, it's gonna show up differently for you. But once it show up, laser excuse me, laser focus on that.
Yeah.
So you can know, oh, that's what that is. Well, let me go ahead and change the trajectory about it. Like it,
and take that power back out of that victim
always
mindset.
take your power back. You have the power. Stop giving your power to other people. That's all I have. Stay triggered though. That's all I have.
Stay triggered. And then of course, as always, like if you need more of a personal touch, like me at one point, and still, because I still got coaches and counselors.
That
part. I still got my whole team, but if you need a more personal approach, you can definitely reach out to us on social media. And yeah, if you message me, we can well, I mean, I ain't even gonna speak for you because that's your boundary, but you can message me and inquire, and we can set up a one-on-one consultation to discuss a more personal approach. I don't know if you open for help.
You can message me for help. You can message me if you just need to vent, but ask me first. Do I have the ability in the space to take it on? And you can message me for any Reiki appointment. I'm back.
Like the return of the I need to schedule then. Yes.
Yeah.
And then I just wanted to, I'm trying to find the thing because I want to make sure. Because and you're a part of the community too, my text, right?
Not no more, because remember I got a new phone number. I have to get back.
Oh, okay. Forget it. You don't want my inspiration.
No. Because I used to post it after you would send it out. I would
post it. You did.
And I would tell everybody, go. Woo, you be hitting. It'd be too early on a Monday morning to feel that hit though. But you be hitting.
It's early for you. It was like 9 a.m.
Anytime this morning time is early for me.
I cannot. Anywho,
anyway,
I have a service for free, inspirational, motivational, shadow work related, like reflection type of texts. And they go out every week. So join the community. And if you would like, all you have to do is text the word passage. So PASSAGE to the number 833-459-4201. Again, I'm going to just say it again because, well, people can pause. But anyway, I'm going to just say it one time. Text
And
the
put it in
word
a detail box.
passage to 833-459-4201. And other than that, we will be back again next week. And this has been another good episode. And until next time, y'all.
Stay triggered.
Stay triggered.